What up, YouTube? Asian Persuasion here, and I'm here with my boy Slim, and we're here with our third teammate from the Dueling Grandpas. We're on the live stream round, I think, six. Yep, you guys can see our boy playing the Spice, Yubel. Oscar's in the house. Thank you, my friend. Right now, I gotta let you know that we appreciate you for being our third. Last minute on Friday, we walked up to this. He walked up to us, and I was just jokingly like, hey man, you want to join our team?
And he did.
And he's like,
I said no.
Yeah.
And he qualified to be a grandpa with us.
Yep.
As you saw on stream, his back didn't break as much.
Shout out to the back breakers, man.
I normally be breaking backs. It's the first time I had mine broken, you know?
All right, man. But before we get into their deck profile, you want to give any shout outs, my friend?
Oh, yeah. Actually, shout out to you two.
Oh, God, yes.
Honestly, this was one of the most fun events.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Our opponents were tilted every round.
Pretty much.
We were the villain arc, bro.
Shout out to Harrison. He lent us a lot of the cards for this. And my boy Gibby, he got me a lot. Shout out Johnny Nagel. He lost 2 fingers so I could play this event.
Got him.
And everybody who said hi to me this weekend, bro. I missed all of y'all.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Let's get into the Yubel Spice, baby. Let's see it.
So this is the best card in the deck. It might be crazy. So Yubel.
That's the best card in the deck,
No
baby.
way.
This card has infinite combos. It's second form. So this card's crazy to float just because at the end of every turn it's a black hole. It's just very. And then I saw some people are playing the third. A lot of people aren't. This card comes up a lot because this one's whenever it leaves the field. So sometimes Fire Kings would put this into my spell and trap card zone, and I could pop it with a Unchained monster, and then I get the Unchained and the third one out.
Oh God!
So
yes.
I was doing some crazy combos with that people weren't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next best card in the deck, this just summons Spirit of Yubel or Yubel. Its interrupt effect on my opponent's turn came up every single time. Every single time I could get it out, it just made my opponent not be able to play. They had to overextend plays, walk into super polys just to try to play around the Lotus.
Yeah. Fun facts, when I'm sitting by my teammate Oscar, I was like watching my opponent go, I don't know what Yubel cards do. And I said, I don't either, and I'm on his team. Fun facts.
This card obviously is the reason the deck's playable. This card's insane.
It is.
It opens the window to way too many combos. I was searching two of the super polys with Nightmare and this every time, so my opponents just never wanted to play into me. So before we got our feature match in round 6, for the first 5 rounds, combined total, my opponents went into battle phase twice. They either linked away their board or put everything in defense so that Nightmare wouldn't force them into battle phase. So it was kind of crazy.
That's hilarious.
All right, so this is Nibiru. I summoned this card once. Every time I wanted to play this, I had 2 Yubel monsters on board,
so you're like,
and
nah.
that was just better than my opponent's full board. So, I still think I would keep running this card, but it was kind of rough.
Yeah.
All right, and Dark Beckoning Beast. This is just your average extender for the deck. It gets you Spirit of the Gates, which has an insane number of interactions. Gets you the extra normal, so you can go into the Unchained package. Yeah, pretty just good card. I'm really happy I ran this. I wouldn't recommend running more than 2. I think running 1 would be bad also. I think 2 is the perfect amount.
Yeah.
You can search 1, you can pitch 1. If you have to, you go normal.
Yeah.
Go into Unchained, but I think this card just put in work.
Yeah, it's a good starter.
Playing one of each of these. These cards are bad and good at the same time.
You win with them and you lose with them.
You don't want to draw them when you have combo, but you want to draw them when you don't have combos.
That's true.
So they're like half Garnets. They're like drawing Brilliant Fusion with your Garnet.
I know that feeling, brother. I know that feeling in my heart.
Then I played Ash. I was trying to decide what hand traps I wanted to run, and I ended up choosing not to run Valor or Imperm because there's not much I could do with them during my during my turn, and I can't do enough with Ash either. But with Ash, it was really good against everything that wasn't Fire Kings. Against Fire King, I usually Fire King their field spell, the Fire King Island, and that either stops their play to where they couldn't play against me at all.
Yeah.
Or if they start, so many people just started with like Bonfire, and I would just say, you know what, YOLO Ash, and then their hand would be so bad.
Just pass.
The next hand trap is Bell. I personally think this is the best hand trap against fire. Mostly you want to do it when you can stop them from bringing the 2 level 1s back.
That Flamberge.
And Flamberge. There's a few plays you can stop Fire Princess coming out from the Amber Whale. But yeah, this card played good. I didn't know you could use this to stop Gamma.
Yeah, if I could have saw that, I would have told you that,
Yeah.
but I didn't see enough of that game.
I literally have never played this card because I always thought it was bad till this format.
Yeah. It definitely stopped the Gamma though, my friend.
And then
we now know.
This card was the MVP of our team. A lot of people don't know about this card, but you know, like
We were the
Dimension
shifter villains,
It's kind of a new card. Card combos really well with my deck because it's a dark, so I can pop it with Nightmare after the first turn, or after I have cards in my graveyard. The first round of the event, all 3 of us lost the die roll, and me and Johnny opened shifter, and our opponents passed their turn.
It was the greatest villain arc ever, man.
So it's, it's a really good card.
Yeah.
Next we'll go to the traps. This is really easy. Johnny said YOLO run rivalry, so I did.
It was crazy.
This card was nutty. I would shifter people that go into Nightingale, and I rivalry them into it. I let fire start their combo and then rivalry their Link Karibo.
And they're just chilling.
Sometimes they'd have an established board, just rivalry clear half their board. It was just, this card just went crazy.
Yeah.
Then the Unchained trap, obviously, because I was running Unchained monsters. The best thing this card did was not the time I used it to interrupt, but I had this set and someone popped it. So I got the special monster out, and it let me deal enough burn damage to kill him.
I'm dead.
When I fused.
that guy was like, "Hey, what just happened?" That card.
This card is insane. I see so many lists with 2 of these, and I do not know what you are doing.
That's crazy.
This card leads to so many combos. Like, I just special on your turn, special on my turn. I can go into rank 10 plays. I can always just have the threat of Super Poly. Having 2 is just, your opponent just never wants to play into your Super Poly because you always have the second one for if they can go into battle phase. And then you can chain block some stuff depending like when you activate this or what they respond with. So, but this card's it's probably my favorite card I played. It enabled me to do way too much.
That card's dirty, bro. I bet everyone read that the most.
Yeah.
That and the spirit.
I hate and love this card.
You drew that a lot.
I played 1.
You drew that a lot.
I activated it in game 3, paid half my life, and still won.
That's how you know.
I just said YOLO on the card. This card, I feel like you have to run the 1 of. If you draw it, you don't always have to activate it. You could go for other plays, but I just still think it's mandatory just for the hands where it's just the 1 play you have. The next is this card's kind of overrated. Super Poly.
More Super Poly.
Yeah, like it's not as good as my other one that summons a monster also, but you know, this one's just as good. I can do it during my turn. This card is like just insane against voiceless. They can't negate. I clear their board for free. They just don't know how to play back.
Yeah.
A lot of them played against around one of my extra deck cards, which was fine because it made their boards weaker, which I was actually glad they played around this. I played talents. The only purpose of this card is to get me 1-for-1.
Trying to draw the extenders, baby.
This card's great. I got to look at what hand traps my opponents had. I think I drew 2 the most because I already had combo. My opponent was down to like 1 or 2 cards in hand, which I didn't care if they had hand traps. So I just went for to draw extra copies of Super Poly or the trap card. This card, a lot of people play 3. If you're searching multiple traps, your opponent's never worrying about this. They're focused on the trap card, trying to get play around the trap card. This usually sits on board. I think it's a bad idea to ignore these, but they can search the second one pretty easily. So this card just
Makes them kill themselves.
This card enabled my side deck also. I got the free specials, so I got the tribute summon. 2 prosperities. I didn't know what draw engine I wanted to run, so I just was looking through my box when I was building this deck in 10 minutes, right
before registration.
Right before registration. So this was the first one I saw, so this is the one I put in. And honestly, the card was great the whole weekend.
6 cards is nice.
It revealed one of my side cards to my opponent, so they started playing around it, assuming I already had 1 copy in hand. So that was great. And then this card.
Oh God, yes. That card's crazy.
If this card gets going, you get infinite advantage.
Yeah.
These guys saw it. Once I get a Yubel or a Spare Yubel in the grave, I can pitch my second copy of Nightmare, my second copy of Opening, and I can just start getting free discards for Super Poly, free specials with this to bring back a Yubel or Spirit Yubel. I can go into Link Monsters. I went into a Gustav Max, detached to burn for 2K, discarded this, got it back. So I had Super Poly threat immediately again with my Yubel. This is like the best utility card in the deck.
Yeah.
Like this and Nightmare are just a pain to deal with. You're always gonna have plays. You're not gonna lose the grind game unless your opponent goes for something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the main deck
right there. 40 is it?
41? It's 40.
40? Nice.
40. Alright. So we're gonna go, let's do the extra next.
Yeah, the goo, where the goo is.
Alright, so this is gonna be easy. I ran 3 because I said, why not? Oh, yeah.
You all good, you all good.
These next cards weren't my choice. These were my teammates. I didn't make these a single time. Voiceless played around this every single time.
That's fair.
Pure Snake Eyes never had a chance to go into this.
Yeah, never.
I didn't play the Mud Dragon because I figured that card was too weak. I'd rather let them set up for a Yubel fusion at that point.
Yeah.
This card, I'm actually happy I kept in. There's a few times where I was like, if my opponent stops my battle phase, I can Super Poly my own monsters into this.
Hey, that's true.
So this card actually was kind of goated. I never went into it, but I always had the option to.
Yeah.
All right. For the fusions, my extra deck, the Link monsters. Let's see, where's my Unchained cards?
The Unchained Yama.
So yeah, everybody knows what these guys do. Pretty staple. I'm playing Fiend monsters, super easy to go into. Just the threat of these guys, anytime I played them was enough to make my opponent play back. And then with the threat of Eternal Favorite. And this, my opponent just always had to play super reserved or go balls to the wall and walk into a Super Poly. I made this card once. I don't say you need this card, but I'm glad I ran it. Yeah. It's just a card that makes your opponent think on what they want to do. Dark, obviously, real good for me to go and burn some plays.
Yes, sir.
Link Karibo. There's times I summoned my Lotus. They would Veiler or Imperm. I would go into Link Karibo, then I'd go opening of the gates, and pitch a Yubel to bring back the Lotus or bring back the Yubel. So this card just went insane. I made SP to attack over a monster so I could deal
Yeah, I
damage.
remember you were like, I forgot I didn't use an extra deck monster.
Yeah, I
Banish.
forgot I didn't use an extra deck monster. I could have gotten something else and then went to it, but that's fine.
Hey, battle phase, that little nut attack, boy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This card's just in there to get banished for prosperity.
Facts.
There's never a single time I wanted to make it, but you know, it's a good prosperity target.
It sure is. It's getting banished
Alright.
phase now.
This card,
That card's GOAT, though. That
It's
card's
just-
a GOAT.
if my opponent doesn't play, I can just hit them for 5k real easy. It combos really well with my next cards. If my opponent's trying to go into a grind game and playing reserve, I just hit them with damage with this, and then when I get set up again on the next turn, I can go into number 35.
This is the goo, y'all.
This card gain all my monsters gain attack equal to the difference in mine and my opponent's life points. So the standard OTK play with this is you fuse for 4. Now you're up 2,000. You attack with the fusion for 2,000. They're at 4K. You hit with this for 4K. Game's done. On top of that, if you can't go for game, you just go for a lot of damage. What this does is, while it has materials, every time my opponent special summons monsters, they burn for 600.
That'd be so bad.
So the one time I left it floating, my opponent just realized they weren't going to win the game and scooped.
Yeah, that card is
Like,
crazy.
they were going to play their turn into a super poly and die to the super poly burn. So
Yeah.
and this side deck's kind of cracked. Like I don't know if I should be revealing it.
This
but
is the goo, though.
there's this triple crossout designator. Card's
sir.
really insane. I'm pretty sure everyone's maining it or siding it. That card is probably the MVP for the weekend for everybody.
Yeah.
Thrust.
God, yes.
This thrust leads to my one for one.
The combo card.
You know, and then it leads to my triple soul release. So, you know, I was just trying to make sure fire couldn't play back against me.
Mm-hmm.
I either played against voiceless or fire, and you know, these went in ham with this card.
Yeah, Raigeki MVP,
Triple
baby.
Raigeki.
Hey, Raigeki MVP
You know,
for me, bro.
You guys saw me on the feature match. I tried to Raigeki thrust, accidentally set it. But you know, I was just gonna double Raigeki my opponent so they couldn't play.
Yeah.
I honestly, if you have the option for double Raigeki, a lot of people just aren't playing back. But what I did do to somebody is
The degenerate plays.
I nightmared Pop Spirit of Yubel to summon Yubel. Added the trap card, tributed the Yubel for her majesties, and then I Raigeki their board.
Yeah, remember you told me look. I looked over and I was like, damn, Oscar, you
My
got
opponent
it.
did not expect that.
I shouldn't have looked.
He picked up his card and told his opponents he lost. And then I don't remember what round it was. All our opponents were super cool. Somehow. One guy made like a sly remark of like, because he lost game 1, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna win game 2 and 3. The deck's not real. So I said, Johnny, 12 or 15? And
I said 15.
He says 15, so I pick up my whole side deck, and he was playing fire, and I just sided in all 15 cards.
He was like, what
My
in the
opponent
world?
immediately looked at his teammate and said, I need help. He sided 15. Do I even put these cards in?
Me and Oscar playing the mind games with these youngins, bro. Oh yeah.
The only change I would do is I would somehow try to fit in a first form of Yubel. There's a lot of times where if I just ran a second Yubel, I could just got into my rank 10s easier and just started popping off. Probably killed people on turn 2.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Or on my turn 1 if they let Shifter go.
That's fair. Heck yeah. Well, we appreciate you for being on the Dueling Grandpa's team, my friend. And you already know we appreciate the deck for the deck profile, bro. All right, Oscar, take it easy.